Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Dustin, and I'm back with another video. Now, if I were to ask you what Red String, Taylor Swift, and a serial killer have in common, you would probably be like, what in the world are you even proposing? However, I fell down this rabbit hole yesterday. I was scrolling through TikTok, and I had to come on here and talk about this TikTok trend that's going viral right now.
Well, you don't know me, but I know you.
So if you guys are here for that, stay tuned to this video. So I was scrolling through TikTok and I came across this TikTok of this girl that posted a picture of her grandmother that she looked very eerily similar to. And it was playing the song that I had in the intro that says, "You don't know me, but I know you," hinting that she may be reincarnated as her grandmother. Now, a lot of people hopped on this trend using this sound and they shared their own personal paranormal or weird experiences. And we're going to get into some of those in a minute, but I want to give you the backstory of this very creepy, weird, just peculiar song, because it has its own bizarre backstory. Now, this song was released by someone named Laurie Anderson. She's a performance artist, and it was released in 1981, and I believe that it was like a vocal exercise type of thing.
Laurie Anderson is an artist whose work defies any easy description. She's a pioneer of the avant-garde, but as we learned, that doesn't begin to describe what she creates. Her work isn't sold in galleries, it's experienced by audiences who come to see her perform, singing, telling stories, and playing strange violins of her own invention. She won a Grammy for a chamber music album about Hurricane Sandy and remains one of America's most unusual and visionary artists. She's played electronic drums on her body and electric violins that sing and howl. For nearly 5 decades now, she's blended the beautiful and the bizarre.
But aside from the video being really weird and strange, what makes it even weirder is there's a serial killer named Dennis Neilsen that used to play this song while he would commit his crimes against children. And when I say he played this song, I mean he played this song like on repeat over and over and over and over while he was doing these horrible, heinous things to people.
Well, you don't know me, but I know you.
Dennis Neilsen murdered at least 12 young men and boys from the years of 1978 to 1983. And because of this, he was sentenced to life in prison and he died at 72 in May of 2018.
Dennis Neilsen, the man who once called himself the murderer of the century, tonight starts a life sentence for 6 murders in North London. He once boasted he could have killed 500 people had he not been stopped. The judge at the Old Bailey said he should stay in prison for at least 25 years. Neilsen, a 37-year-old civil servant, showed no emotion as sentence was passed. He denied murdering 6 young men between 1980 and 1982. He admitted killing them and maybe 9 more and cutting up their bodies at houses where he lived in Cricklewood and Muswell Hill. But Neilsen claimed it was manslaughter because of diminished responsibility. 8 or even 9 of his victims to this day remain unidentified. Young men with no names, no known addresses, jobless, rootless, and friendless. Some were Scots, some were Irish, others were described as vagrants, hippies, and skinheads. And as Stephen Chambers now reports, there are many more just like them, alone in London tonight.
So now that I've given you the details of this bizarre, very scary, weird sound that people are using for this TikTok trend, I want to give you a few examples of what people are talking about in this trend because it's actually crazy. So in this TikTok, this person says, "This is my grandfather who passed away years ago. His name was Daniel Miner. We are from Pennsylvania," right? But she went on to post this candy wrapper that said, "When I went through a very difficult time, I opened a candy to see this. Live your life every day with no regrets. It'll be worth it. Daniel M. from Pennsylvania." And this one right here blew my mind. This says, "My brother and I in Tennessee circa 1994 wearing our new matching denim jackets." The same jacket from the picture. "My wife thrifted 24 years later in Wasilla, Alaska, 2018. We are shopping for our first son when we saw my last name written on the tag in my mom's handwriting and screamed." It's things like this that truly just boggle and blow my freaking mind. Now, some of you may not even know what this is or what this is about, and this is invisible string theory. Now, what is invisible string theory? Invisible string theory comes from East Asian folklore and the red thread of fate that ties lovers together. And I'm sorry, I'm looking down at my notes. It claims that 2 people that are meant to be together have an invisible red cord that binds them together. It doesn't matter the time, the distance, or any obstacle that comes between these 2 people because the red cord will always bring them back together.
The invisible string theory claims that 2 people who are destined to be in love have an invisible red cord binding them together. It doesn't matter the time, the distance, or any obstacle they face in life, that red cord is going to bring them back together. A lot of people believe that the invisible string theory is real, and they've experienced it themselves. There's a handful of people that also believe this invisible string will travel with you between lives. They believe that everything is always connected. A lot of people think that this doesn't even have to do with true love alone. The invisible string may connect you to your family members or best friends. People have shared stories about their pets and their jobs, and even being in the right place at the right time or being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Do you think that there could be an invisible string that's holding people together? Do you think that we as humans are more connected than we could even fathom? Do you think the universe has a story planned out for us? Or do you believe that these stories are just coincidence and that these odd connections are just made by chance?
Taylor Swift mentions this in her song Invisible Thread. And side note, I have been really getting into Taylor Swift, so for me to fall down this rabbit hole and find her there, it was very interesting to say the least. So let's get into a few more of these TikToks that I found very, very interesting. In this TikTok, it said, my parents started dating in high school and got married in 1992, together 31 years. When my mom was 12 years old, her parents got her this Christmas ornament. It says Heather 1981. And when my dad was 10 years old, his parents bought him this Christmas ornament, John 1979. In the next picture, it says, when my parents got married, they realized they had matching ornaments that complete each other. How crazy is that? Like, what are the odds that something like this would happen, right? This one right here is a little eerie to me as well. This says the house I bought in 2022, and then the person posting it found a photo of their grandfather in front of the same house in 1932. I just find this really interesting how we can all be so connected and not connected at the same time, but somehow we always seem to come back to one another. And that is the red string of fate. This is blowing my mind. And I'll share one more of these before I go. This one says, my grandpa had a dream before I was born that I was his brother who shot himself in his heart. I was born with 3 holes in my heart and mutated valves. Now, I don't know what this is, but it is definitely something. This is not a coincidence in my opinion. How are so many people having these different oddities happen in their life? Which leaves me with, have you guys ever had an experience like this that cannot be explained other than just the universe doing what it does? Because I find that very interesting. If you've had an experience like this, please, please, please let me know down below. I am so interested in this. This is one of my favorite TikTok trends that has happened in a very, very, very long time. Also, if you made it this far in this video, leave me the needle and thread emoji down below. I think you know why. It's pretty self-explanatory. Also, please don't forget to leave me your thoughts and opinions down below about this. I find this to be very, very interesting. If you like this video, let me know down below and I'll make more videos like this. But with all that said, I hope you all have an amazing day and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.